Hello everyone. In this alternative playthrough I have of Scarlet Hollow, I have the powerful build and street mart traits. And at the ending of last episode, episode 3, I made the deal with Charles Shaw Jr. I also believe I'm in very good relations with my cousin in this version, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, this is the one where I'm very old, so let's see what happens. Your limbs are heavy and your heart struggles to keep up with your movements. You feel like you've lost something that was important to you. Your thoughts drift to the countless hours you spent pushing your body to its physical limits. It's as though the peak of a mountain you've been climbing your entire life has been sewn off, leaving you to contemplate a disappointing plateau. Life goes on, but for how much longer will your life go on? An involuntary shudder runs down your spine, but your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on your nightstand. Hope you're doing okay, says Kanika. You find Tabitha in the kitchen, her shoulders hunched in a tight ball of anxiety. There's an almost cool confidence in the way her cousin talks about the strike. They're in disarray. I didn't think making a deal with a ghost would feel so physically bad. I thought I was making a metaphorical trade. What are you trying to accomplish here? If you really lost years of your life to a ghost, you have no one to blame but yourself for making a bad deal. Who just goes and makes a deal with an angry ghost? Why would anyone do something like that? The birds sound different today, muffled like your ears are full of cotton. The dull sun shines down on the surrounding wilderness, seeming to wash the color from the world. But you're adjusting. Already your body is starting to accept the change that has come over it, to accept that this is how things will be from here on out. You can't help but feel countless eyes watching you from the tree line, a feeling that reminds you of your first time in the woods with Stella. Ditchlings shouldn't be out in the middle of the day, though. They're getting bolder. They don't say anything about your appearance, but you can see them take you in, the light of day revealing your new features clearly for the first time. You doing okay? I'm old now. My bones hurt. Not all bad. The gray streak is pretty cool. You'll probably be able to get a senior discount in not too long. There are upsides to everything, even having part of your life sucked out by a ghost. Morning light streams in through the library's large windows. In the bright daylight, it's once again a place of comfort, all menace having fled in the wake of Charles Shaw Jr.'s departure. No ghost, thank God. I was not up for an encore. Yeah, it's gone, just like your mom said it would be. I guess Oscar must be in the back. I know that's where I'd be if I finally got my house back. I've always been surprised at how unsupervised this place is. Sometimes it feels like anyone could just walk in and do whatever they wanted. Like what, steal books? I mean, they could, right? I'm not saying anyone would, I'm just saying that people in this town trust each other a lot. It's nice. Let's go find Oscar. You make your way back towards the annex. It feels strange to be back here in the light of day, as if the events of the previous evening were all just a terrible dream. This hallway really takes me back. It feels like it was only yesterday that we were last here, blissfully unaware that our entire lives are about to change forever. It was only yesterday. I know. Kanika knocks on the door. Oh, good morning. It's so good to see all of you. Mina. He takes in the sight of you standing in the bright corridor. You could hear his guilt in the way he said your name, and you can see it in his eyes now. I hope you're doing well this morning. Please come on in. Oh, you're doing really great, Rosalina. Not a lot of kids your age can take shots that well. You're being so brave. You don't have to talk to me like I'm 5. But you are brave. You really are, Rosalina. You're like so badass. Alexis is right. This is more than most people have to deal with in their whole lives, and here you are taking it like a champ. Dr. Kelly's kind demeanor vanishes as she turns and glares at you. Oh, I see we have visitors. But her glare vanishes as she takes in your new visage. Her features soften into a look of shock and concern. Mr. Gutierrez told me what happened last night, and I must admit I found it hard to believe. But your face... It definitely looks like you've had years stolen from you, whatever that means. It's concerning. I'd like to give you a physical. So wait, you just believe a ghost stole years of my life? Sure. There's plenty of evidence that something happened to you right in front of me. So are you going to get your physical? My God, flirting with her. I won't flirt with her. Maybe I will. Should I save the game and flirt with her? Okay, I saved it just so I could choose the flirt option, just to see the reactions, but obviously Kanika's my girl in this one, so I will load back afterwards. Anything you say, Doctor. Shall we go somewhere private? Please try to be normal when you speak to me. And no, I'm not giving you an exam in the middle of someone else's home. Come to the clinic sometime today and I'll do it there. Okay. Let's load it. Okay. I'll just say I don't have insurance. Dr. Kelly sighs. That's fine. I'll do it pro bono. It can't be good that your appearance changed so dramatically in the few hours since I last saw you, and I'd rather you get this checked out sooner than later. Come by the clinic when you can. Her examination finished, Dr. Kelly returns to Rosalina's side. How are you doing, Rosalina? Tired. My leg hurts a lot, but the medicine is helping, so it's not bad now. Plus, I got to lie down in an actual bed last night, and you have no idea how good that felt. Thanks, Mina. I can't believe you got any sleep last night after all the ghost stuff. I just sat on the couch with all the lights on. I don't think I slept at all. I really needed some rest after, the hospital and my foot. Your body is desperately trying to get you to rest. All that activity yesterday was pretty brutal on your injury. It's never going to stop hurting if you keep pushing yourself. So what are you not going to do today? Anything? That's right. You're staying right here. No walking around, no investigating haunted houses. Sorry, Dr. Kelly. I should have been better at stopping her. I take full responsibility. As her father, I should have. No need for anyone to step in to take the blame for anything. It's the hospital's fault for sending her home at all. It's gross negligence if you ask me. But give it time. Then you can do all the activities you want. Alright, Rosalina? I'm guessing Charlie didn't come back for an encore? Not as far as I know. I slept in Rosalina's room and I made sure to put some heavy objects on top of the hatch just to give myself some extra peace of mind. But thanks to you, I didn't see or hear anything all night. I think we're in the clear. I didn't see anything either, but even if something did happen, I wouldn't know. I was asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow. I'm too tired to worry about ghosts anymore, to be honest. Losing a limb will do that, especially if you decide to tromp around the next day like nothing happened. I would have been fine if it weren't for Charlie. Good thing he's gone then, and let's hope he stays gone. Our house was haunted because someone was murdered there. The mine collapse the other night was at the site of a mass grave. With enough research, maybe we'll be able to get a step ahead of the next crisis. Maybe we can actually preempt it. That is, assuming there's going to be a next crisis, but something tells me we aren't in the clear yet. Before you can suggest your next move, your body starts to feel woozy. Spots form at the edges of your vision. Your legs suddenly feel unstable, your body sending you clear signals of exhaustion. It pains you to imagine how difficult the effects of Charlie's deal would be to manage for someone less fit than yourself. If even your powerful body is struggling just to walk from place to place. You manage to shake it off before Kanika and Avery notice. But still, it won't be long before your aching muscles need to rest. You should plan your next move carefully. As you consider your next move, your vision blurs again, but this time it persists. The weakness in your knees returns, your ears fill with static, and you can feel yourself swaying, unable to control your body. It seems the toll of the pact you made last night is finally catching up with you. Hey, Mina, are you okay? Your body crumbles to the ground. Oh shit, The general store is just around the corner. Let's get you inside. The bells of the general store jingle welcomingly as your companions drag you across the threshold. You can faintly make out the unintelligible mumbling of what must be voices. And then you fade out once again. Sybil sits across from you, a gentle smile of relief washing over her face as you regain consciousness. It's dark here, the sunlight filtering through the heavy curtains weak and watery, partially supplemented by the bright grow lights over the plant in the corner. Welcome back. It's just the two of us now, I'm afraid. Avery had to go and help out at the diner, and Kanika's getting some much-needed bed rest upstairs. I went ahead and made you some tea, dear. It should help a bit with your condition. Don't expect it to change your gray hairs back, but at the very least it should make it easier for your mind and spirit to adjust to some of the physical changes you've gone through. Hopefully you'll be a little less exhausted and a little less prone to passing out. And when you're finished, we can use the leaves for a reading. On the house, of course. Until then, why don't we just chat? Oh my god. I called Tabitha. Before Dr. Kelly can fire, a different shot rings out. Reese's body is thrown to the wall. Shotgun in hand, your cousin rounds the corner and trains her weapon on his writhing body. Tabitha, what are you doing here? Stop it. Let me sedate him. We can deal with this non-lethally. Are you insane? That thing was trying to kill you. I'm gonna help Dr. Kelly sedate Reese. You leap forward, placing your body between Tabitha and the whimpering Reese, his face already trying to stitch itself back together as he writhes on the ground. Mina, what the hell do you think you're doing? Don't kill him. He's still a person. Person my ass. Did you see his face? Both of you, shut up and help me drag him into the safe room now. You turn to see Dr. Kelly already pulling her son towards the open doorway. Tabitha swings the gun onto her back, huffily jumping in to help Dr. Kelly. It's not long before his regenerating body is sealed away behind the door. So you could also let Tabitha kill him. I might do that in another one. Not exactly how I thought that would play out, but at least none of us are dead. If you've done any permanent damage to him, you're gonna be the one paying for the medical supplies, Miss Scarlet. You aren't seriously going to keep that thing alive, are you? It's clearly dangerous. What makes you think you can keep it locked up? It's my son, Miss Scarlet, and despite appearances, he is still human. I prefer you refer to him as such. And I've managed to keep him safely locked away and harmless for years. Sure, it'll be a little more difficult now that he knows about his condition, but that room is lined with lead. He isn't going anywhere. He's human? Are you sure about that? Are we talking about the same guy? Trust me, I've done genetic tests. He is human somehow, and it's my job as his mother to protect him and to protect people from him. That's not a burden I take lightly. You don't have to worry about him getting out anytime soon. Dr. Kelly bought us time. I'm sure we can figure out what to do about him later. There is no we. He's my son. He's my problem. I'd prefer it if both of you forgot what you saw tonight and went on about your own business. If I recall from 2 minutes ago, you would have been chomped in half if I hadn't stepped in. I don't think you're capable of dealing with this rationally, Joan. Are you just going to hope somebody steps in next time too? One of these days your luck is going to run out. Get out of my house. I don't need some kid to stand here lecturing me all night. I have a lot of cleaning up to do. You and your cousin leave the clinic, Dr. Kelly slamming the shotgun-blasted door behind you. The two of you make your way to the bottom of the hill, where Tabitha's car is parked among the sleepy houses of Scarlet Hollow's residential street. She places her gun in the trunk and turns to face you. You're alone right now. Is Stella still missing? I tried calling her a couple of times, but I kept getting her stupid voicemail. Yeah. The two of you are interrupted by the jingling of dog tags. Gretchen appears at the edge of the road, running as fast as her geriatric pug legs can carry her. She seems distressed. winds up at you, anxiously jumping back and forth, darting away when you lean down to her. Gretchen? But where's Stella? Looks like we're about to find out. You and Tabitha follow Gretchen into the woods. God, I hope she's not leading us to a body. Gretchen nervously runs ahead of you and Tabitha, looking back to make sure you're still there as she leads you into the dark woods. Before long, the trees thin, and you find yourself on a steep hill by a 2-lane road, lined on one side by sheer rock. There, sitting on a log, staring mournfully out at the asphalt, is Stella. You watch her from the underbush. Great, she's alive. Let's go. Let's go talk to her. You can go talk to her. It'd be weird if I went with you. We're not even friends. I wouldn't know what to say. If you're not comfortable going up there with me, then you should talk to her by yourself. You two need to talk. Fine. Tabitha takes a step forward, gravel crunching beneath her boots as she walks along the side of the road towards Stella. Stella looks up. A tired smile spreads across her face at the sight of your cousin, standing awkwardly on the slight slope on the roadside. They talk, their voices quiet in the still night air. After a while, they both stand and walk off into the forest together, Gretchen tucked under Stella's arms. It's time for you to go home. Wayne has come along now. It's quite a hike back to the estate. What if I punch him again? You try to throw a punch, your exhausted muscles coming toward and pulling what remains of your energy into a powerful right hook. Wayne sees it coming from a mile away. He steps out of the path of your fist, and you stumble, just managing to catch yourself before you fall to the ground. See what the spirit took from you? You could have just walked out of there. Not that it would be much to use against me. You can't hurt me. So, when Sybil tells us all the warnings with the mystical trait, we can actually say, I'd like to see. I'm sure it wouldn't make much sense to most people. It will probably just look like a confusing mess of old leaves, but you're free to take a look. You take the cup, staring down into it. It's just leaves. There's no pattern, nothing swimming together in the dregs of your teeth to give you any warnings or premonitions. After a long moment, Sybil takes the cup back from you. I hope that settled your curiosity. Don't worry if you couldn't make sense of it. It takes years to learn this sort of thing, even for someone with your propensities. You're a freaking liar. She winks conspiratorially. The cat could be Dustin. He's a possum who lives in my dresser and tries to talk to him every day to hear his wisdom and help with his troubles. It would break my heart if he's the traitor. Friendship ended. I can examine my aunt's body? So this is your Aunt Perlan, Coal Baroness of the Scarlet Mines and local she-devil that it seemed no one, not even her own daughter, was able to mourn. This is not the first corpse you've seen, but it feels the same as any other. She's an empty body now, the warmth and energy of a life now dissipated, the same as your mother was, and the same as you'll be one day. Cold air rises from her bluish skin, her vacant, filmy eyes staring up at nothing. You try to imagine what she may have looked like alive and breathing, slinging subtle insults at the townsfolk, but it's hard to picture any expression on a face so stiff and cold with death. Making sure she didn't walk off? Poke her just to make sure. I'm gonna poke her just to make sure. She's dead. Looks pretty dead. These are always more detailed with the mystical trait, too. Enoch, I thought you weren't going to come. I was worried you'd leave me here forever. They said there's nothing they can do. I'll never use my legs again. Enoch, what am I going to do? Calm down, Teddy. These doctors don't know what they're talking about. I've been doing my own research, and I found this an alternative. We won't have to worry about anything from here on out, I promise. I went to talk to the witch. A witch? But that's nonsense. It's alright. It's all sorted. We're taking you home today and everything will be resolved by this time next week. Here it is. That's right, Doctor. At this point, I think it's safe to say his body was never recovered. Whoever it was who claimed to be Theodore, it wasn't him. Wasn't even paralyzed, as it turns out. Just some grifter trying to take advantage of the tragedy. Everything goes black. In this iteration also, Reese didn't pick up on the plant. So he just didn't take his meds because he didn't feel like it, not because he knows she's been poisoning him. There is something almost fundamentally different about Reese. Before, he was almost muted, his energy dulled. But now it's like he's crackling with electricity. It's like we're watching a storm gather on the horizon. Call up Tabitha and wait quietly in the basement. God. If you call Tabitha off, or just, I guess, wait in the basement, you hear the tranquilizer gun go off, you hear thudding noises, and then Dr. Kelly screams and stops. Then, footsteps on the stairs down to the basement. It's done. She's not a problem anymore. Oh my god, there's so much to be done here. What did you do? I defended myself. I stopped her from hurting anyone else. I earned my freedom. Welcome to the Dead Moms Club. Happy to be a member. You should have seen the setup. She was waiting for me. The basement was only the beginning for her. She built a prison cell. And she had it all ready for its occupant. Glad she never got the chance to use it. What are you? I'm human. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm human. I don't think humans can do what I just did, so maybe I'm something else. Do I look different? Look in a mirror. He shambles to the bathroom. Oh. As he comes back into view, you see his features shift, his bones audibly popping as they reset under his skin into a slightly more human, yet still monstrous form. I don't remember how it's supposed to fit together. I don't think I want to. This feels right. Did you know what you really were? No, but a lot of things make sense now. Weird little memories I always thought were just figments of my imagination. There's a creak on the stairs above you. Come along, Misty. Don't waste another second talking to it. It's unstable. You're real. I am. Gotta get running. Pure terror in his eyes, Reese scrambles through the window and bounds off into the wilderness, his smears pouring out after him. So if you tell Stella what happens, she runs away, and Wayne says that she will never be there when you actually need her. The three of you stand around Reese's mangled, still twitching body. Your cousin pours gasoline, and she lights a match. He screams as he erupts into flames. It's inhuman. The ruin of its face incapable of making any recognizable sounds beyond a guttural wail. It seems to last forever, and then it stops. In its absence, there is only the roaring of flames and the sobbing of his mother, staring down at the writhing, burning body of what was once her son. I always knew there was something off about that kid. He had a weird smell. Tears that stream down your cheeks as the finality of it all hits you. You all did what you had to do, but it doesn't make this hurt any less. Your cousin, noticing your tears, puts her arm around you and rests her head on your shoulder. And then she steps away. Did you know what he was? No, but the door was sealed shut and I got a bad vibe from your call, so I took the gun from my office. I was already armed when I rounded the corner and saw him, just did what had to be done. Thanks for calling me instead of trying to handle this on your own. We make a good team. I didn't know you would kill him. And you didn't have a very good grasp on the situation. He was a rampaging monster. There was no way this was going to end without at least a little bloodshed. It could have. I had it under control. This didn't need to happen. Yet you let it happen. Come on, Joan. You didn't stop me when I lit the match. Deep down you knew this was for the best. His suffering is over now, Dr. Kelly. This is a good thing. Don't you dare say that to me while my son is burning in front of me. I don't care what he was. He's gone now, and you trying to comfort me is just fingering that fresh wound. Don't bother. He wasn't even human. You shouldn't be so broken up about some wild animal that had every intention of killing you. He was human. I did tests. Genetically, he was no different from us, and he was an incredible artist, and he was thoughtful and kind, and most importantly, he was my son. Dr. Kelly falls silent, the flames dancing across her tear-streaked face. I'm sorry, Joan. An acrid smell hangs in the air, the stink of burning flesh stinging your nostrils. But he's gone. There's only a charred pile of ash and bones where his writhing body once lay. Nothing moves, nothing tries to mend itself. There is nothing left to be mended. I'm going to bed. Not a word of this to anyone, or there'll be hell to pay. You don't have to tell me twice. Dr. Kelly starts back down the hill, towards the clinic, leaving the two of you next to the smoldering ashes. I'm parked down the hill. Let's get out of here. I need a shower. My hair smells like burning corpse. How'd you know she'd be here? Parents died here. If you were Stella, where would you go after you'd just been possessed by a ghost? She doesn't need me to solve her problems. I don't think I even can solve her problems. Seeing her alive is all the peace of mind I need right now. You should go talk to her, Tabitha. She'd probably be glad to see you. We've got baggage. I'll just make things worse. No, you're right. She's been practically begging for us to be closer than we are. It's time I stop letting my dead mother dictate who I'm allowed to talk to. Okay, so in this iteration, or in this save file, I have the hot and booksmart traits. Rosalina's still injured, but I got out of the ghost's plea deal completely unscathed. The library is still there. Mystic didn't offer a hidden better ending, but maybe this one will. So let's see. So, I had no choice but to drink the tea Sybil made me, but I noticed a castor bean plant in her room, which is poisonous, and now I've noticed a castor bean plant on the table, and like, you've seen them somewhere else in town, but for the life of you, you can't remember where. And also, in all of these iterations, every time you try to go out with Kanika and Sybil stops you on the stairs, she's being extremely creepy, and your own traits are like working against you. So she is definitely manipulating both me and Kanika and God knows who else in town. And there's some magic shit going on with her, for sure. Not someone to be trusted. Okay. So I can use my hotness to tame the beast. You step forward. Place a calming hand on his face. She's only doing this to protect herself. Show her you're not a monster. Back down. Someone has to stop the cycle of violence. Let it be you. She loves you, Reese. Leave now before you do something you regret. Or revenge. She's only doing this to protect herself. Show her you're not a monster. Back down. But he stammers, his unnaturally stretched mouth struggling with the words. For God's sake, Sam, get away from him. He stares up at the woman in the doorway behind you. There's something pained in his expression, beyond the rage he feels for her. Reese's gaze returns to you, sadness in his eyes. I'm not a monster. He takes a step back, and then he's gone. You can hear the thudding footsteps receding down the hall, then the sound of the front door. How the hell did you manage that? I don't know. Clearly you had some kind of effect on him. I guess he trusts you or something. I doubt the rest of the town is going to be that fortunate. Dr. Kelly carefully makes her way to the entrance of the clinic, checking around corners, and you follow close behind. He's long gone. The door to the clinic hangs open, the night beyond, seemingly empty. I should go after him. He's all keyed up. If I don't do something, he might go after somebody else. Let it go, Doc. Give him a chance to be free. I shudder to think what that means for someone like him. She sighs. But it's dark. He has better night vision than me. Going after him now will probably just end poorly. I hope you knew what you were doing. If I'm being honest with myself, it's been a long time coming. I couldn't keep this up forever. Something was bound to break eventually, and I suppose I should be grateful it didn't end with any of us dead. Yet. Dr. Kelly glances around the clinic, streaked with paint from Reese's minions. I've got to get to cleaning. I'd appreciate it if you got the hell out of my house now. You do as the doctor says, walking out of the open door into the cool night. In this iteration, I have talked to animals in Street Smart, so nothing spectacular is going to happen here. Don't look at this. Don't look at it. So in this one, I have Street Smart and talk to animals, so nothing spectacular. However, in this one, Tabitha took years off her life, so I just want to see how that plays out. Okay, there's Tabitha. In the light of day, she looks even more physically worn than she did last night. Her blonde hair is streaked with white, and fresh creases line her features, accentuating her frown. There's an almost cool confidence in the way she's talking about the strike. Girl, that's not the biggest of your worries right now. And in this version where I'm really close to Tabitha, and Tabitha took the deal, and I invited her over, and she shot Reese, but he's alive and locked in the room, and now both of us are talking to Stella. God, Tabby, that ghost really did a number on you. I'm so sorry. You had McNasty worried all day, you know? Went all over town looking for you. And it looks like you got into some trouble too. As you're all covered in blood. I think a lot of it is paint, actually. Paint? What? This is where your parents died, right? Have you been sitting here all day? Yeah. Just waiting. Silence falls over the three of you, the wind rustling in the leaves and the sound of night insects carry on around you, muted in the still night. Nothing happened, though. That's probably for the best. Tabby, did I do something wrong after the accident? What? There's whole years of my life that feel like they just never happened. Like every time I try and remember them, it's blank. I have all these videos sitting on my channel that I don't even remember filming. It's scary. Did I do something to push you away? No. All you ever wanted to do was talk to me, but Perlan wouldn't let you near me. Oh. And fuck Perlan! To the Dead Moms Club. Should I say fuck Pearl Ann? I don't know. I'll just remain silent. Three of you stare out into the quiet night. I think the accident is probably why I got into ghost hunting. I think I just wanted to see them again. I wanted to know whether I even could. I never found anything, so I eventually gave up. Then last night happened, and I ran out here to see if maybe it would happen with them too. Even if it meant seeing the crash again or seeing them all messed up and dead. I just wanted to see them. It's been a whole day. I don't think they're coming. Do you want to say goodbye? Stella sits in silence for a long moment, her breaths slow and even. Goodbye. I love you. Don't worry about me. I'm gonna be fine. She's silent again, as if waiting for a response. No response comes. But she smiles, a lively glimmer returning to her sad eyes. That kind of felt better. I don't think I'd realized how much I'd kind of trapped myself in my own head. Thank you for breaking me out of it, you two. Stella straightens up, stretching her back. Gretchen wags her tail, tags jingling in the quiet night air. I know that stretch. That's the time to go home stretch. Thank the Lord I'll be sleeping in my own bed tonight. Thank you for talking some sense into this girl. We should probably head back, right? I haven't slept in a day. The three of you and Gretchen make your way back through the woods before arriving at Stella's house. This is me. Thanks again, you two. It's time for us to get back to the estate. Tabby, wait. Before you go? Stella wraps her cousin in a tight hug. Don't be a stranger, okay? Aw, Tabby. Never again, I promise. Aw. Okay, so in this playthrough, I saved everyone from the mines because I had keen eye, and I took the ghost deal. So now I'm able to go back to the seal. So let's see how that plays out. Rosalina says, hey Dad, what are y'all doing here? And Oscar says, I'm going back into the basement, Rosa. I'm afraid there's something down there that might help us figure out what's going on in the town. It's probably best you go to the library while we... No way. If you're going down there, I'm going too. Remember what you said last night? No more secrets. We're in this together. You're right, Rosa. You can come with us. No more secrets. Nika says, am I the only person in this town who doesn't have a death wish? Just give me a moment to move all this out the way. Oscar gets to work, moving the furniture from the trap door. His broad shoulders making quick work of it. Wink, wink. Before you and your companions know it, you find yourselves transfixed to the trap door. I don't want to go back down there. It's okay, Alexis. You don't have to come with us. Kanika says we can stay up here together while everyone else goes down there. Oscar opens the hatch with a menacing creak. Everybody's heart skips a beat. But none of you are swept up into the ghost nightmare puppet show. The sun continues to shine. The birds continue to sing outside Rosalina's window. See? Nothing to be worried about. The slight tremor in his voice tells you he's mostly saying that to himself. Shall we? If you're sure you want to do this, I won't stop you, but I do not like the vibes I'm getting from that pit. Let's descend. You descend the basement stairs and find yourself in the same cold, unfinished place you were in last night. You can't shake an oppressive feeling, but whether that feeling is driven more by the trauma of the past night or by something more tangible, you're unsure. Well, I guess whatever we're looking for is in that pit. I guess we should take a closer look. Oscar walks up to the burial site, eyes widening as he peers inside. Stare into the pit. The eternally screaming remains of Charles Shaw Jr. are exactly where you left them last night, staring back up at you from empty sockets. The carving lies beneath him, the heavy cold stone acting as his coffin. Its style is more than just similar to the carvings in the mines. Both stones were carved by the same artist. Charlie. Whoa, cool. Don't touch it. I'll have to call Dr. Kelly about this. We should put this body to rest, right? That's how those things usually go. He hasn't popped out of the grave or decided to make any of us into puppets, so maybe he's really gone for good. I think so. That's gonna make it a lot easier to sleep tonight. Does that mean you'll let me sleep in my actual bed? Whoa, let's give it one more night. I still don't know how I feel about you sleeping on top of that rock. What do we think? Wolves encircling a goat. It's a start. What was on the carving in the mines? A circle of arms bound up in chains. Stella took a photo of it. Not that that's helpful right now, but maybe once we find her, she can send it to you. Interesting. I'm sure that description will be more than enough to get started. Can Alexis and I help? I want to know why someone put this creepy stuff under my room. Sure, you can help. I don't think we should destroy it. I think we've got more than enough to get started. Let's get out of here. You and the others make your way back up to Rosalina's room. As soon as you're all in one place, Oscar closes the trapdoor and moves the pile of furniture back in place. So, did y'all get possessed or cursed or anything? No, but we got to see a dead body. Hey Alexis, you want to see a picture of it? Ew, okay. I'm not sure that's appropriate. Alexis' parents might not approve of you showing their daughter pictures of dead people. They let her watch all kinds of scary movies, Dad. It's fine. And maybe she can help with the investigation, too. Yeah, it's totally okay, Mr. Gutierrez. I don't want to see it in person, but I do want to see it. Before Oscar has a chance to get in another word, Rosalina's already pulled up the picture on her phone. Whoa, I can't believe you're gonna sleep in here. You're so brave. Oscar sighs. I'll be back to check in on you two in a minute. I've just got a couple of things to finish up with these folks. You and Kanika follow Oscar back to the living room. Okay, I skipped over quite a bit of this, but this time I just chose to go and go straight in and have a checkup with Dr. Kelly because of my age. She brought me into this room, basically said she wants to do some blood work, listen to my heart. Said I have a heart murmur, which is like an age thing. So that happened overnight. Also high blood pressure, which also happened overnight. And now she is prodding our abdomen. Do you know Sybil? Ooh, she stiffens at the question. I know her as well as anybody else. She's yet another resident of Scarlet Hollow who should really come see me more often, but she has her own ideas about health. She seems to think drinking a gallon of tea every day will grant her immortality. Same. I'm sure I'll be seeing more of her when she realizes that's not the case. Did you know my mom well? I did. We were friends growing up. She was sarcastic but nice. I like that about her. Hell of a lot more pleasant to be around than her sister. Do you know any history about my family? Of course I do. Folks around here learn all the important myths about your family. The whole bootstraps things with Silas, the founding of the town by the mighty Andrew J. Scarlet, and of course the big collapse and the evil Charles Shaw, who gets all the blame. Your family is a big deal in this town, of course. I know about them, only as much as anyone else, though. I'm not really into local history. What did you think of Pearl Ann? Vivian and I used to joke she was the evil twin, though I'm not sure you can call it a joke if it's just true. Sorry, I really shouldn't speak ill of the dead. I'd like to know more about the clinic. Well, it was an old hospital during the Civil War, then one of those clean air clinics. Then around the time of the collapse, it was converted back into a hospital, but it lost most of its funding as people left town. So now it's just a doctor's office. With an astronomical heating bill. Tell me about it. All the massive windows and glass doors makes this an icebox in the winter. What happened here after the Shaw mine collapsed? I suppose the only thing I know that the average resident of the holler might not is the collapse was the reason this was converted into a proper hospital. The wounded were brought here, where there were beds and medical supplies, and that pushed out the dregs of the clean air cokes. Nobody thought the air around here was that clean after a coal mine collapse filled it with ash, and that theory was already on its way out at that point. Okay. I really appreciate you looking out for me, Doc. No problem, just doing my job. I'd feel negligent if I saw someone go through what you've gone through and didn't step in, even if there's not much I can do to help. I'd like to check out your lungs. Can you breathe into this for me? Make sure you keep a tight seal on it. You place the mouthpiece against your lips. Now blow out hard and keep going until you're out of air. You do your best. You can tell it's a pitiful attempt. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'd expect given everything else. Again, I don't have data from before, but judging by your age and what I've been able to tell from a quick once-over, it's looking like you're the equivalent of at least a decade older and not a good decade. I'm guessing the blood work is gonna show about the same. She goes to a drawer and retrieves a needle. Are you gonna feed my blood to your vampire son? That's fucking funny. Okay, Doc, stick me with it. You'll barely feel it, I promise. She inserts the needle. She was wrong. You definitely feel it. But it doesn't last long. The needle slides back out quickly, and she puts a cotton ball on the tiny hole in your skin, pasting a band-aid over the top to seal in your vital juices. There, see? That's all we had to do. Not bad at all. Alright, that's all we can do for now. I'll make sure to notify you when I get the results, and I'll send them to your GP. You do have a regular doctor back home, right? I don't have health insurance. Oh, I see. Well, I'll give you a copy and hold on to one for my records, I suppose. You should look into getting some kind of health insurance. Even something off the marketplace is better than nothing, especially since you're... She glances at your newly aged face. Probably going to want to start getting regular checkups. You're free to go. You know how to find the door. She starts busying herself with cleaning up her equipment. She'll be distracted at least for a few minutes. So same playthrough, but I just went back a little bit, and when we got to Sybil's, I just ignored her and went after Kanika. I chatted to Kanika, she wants to go out, and now I have all these extra options that help me be very mean to Sybil. And I'm just not sure which one to do. So I'm going to do a quick save and then see which gives me the, I guess, best result that I'm hoping for. You manipulative hag. Kanika don't buy any of her bullshit. Kanika sighs. No, my mom is right. Sybil, you can't expect to control your adult daughter like this. Huh. So, in this playthrough, unfortunately, Gretchen didn't survive the first episode, and I didn't talk to the dogs in the mayor's office earlier, which was my mistake, because then nobody warns you about Stella's location. So, after everything that happens at Reese's, Tabitha outside kind of says, good, she's missing whatever. Let's just go home. I've been looking forward to that ice cream all day. I don't care how late it is, we're doing it, and we can get back to looking for Stella tomorrow. Because I have a really good relationship with her, and I visited her in the mines and said that I miss her, so she wants to spend time together with us now. You and Tabitha quietly return to the estate and make your way to the kitchen, where she pulls out 2 pints of banana chocolate chunk. She puts one on the table and wordlessly thrusts the other into your hands. I'm sure it is a lot you want to talk about, but we're both here, we're both safe, and we've both had a long week. Let's just exist together. The 2 of you stand in the kitchen, quietly eating banana-flavored ice cream, while Frou-Frou purrs gently in her sleep nearby, an oasis of calm. But as Tabitha's spoon scrapes the bottom of her empty pint, the moment ends. Alright, I'm off to bed. You should try and get some sleep too. Here's hoping tomorrow is uneventful, right? Thanks for this. Your cousin leaves for her room. Oh, look at Frou-Frou. So cute. Your body breaking down from the stress of the day's events. There's nothing left for you to do but head to bed. Okay. I'm pretty sure I've pulled everything I could have out of this episode right now. Obviously, there's still a lot of details. There's romanceable options and stuff that I'm not going to put into this. It's just kind of the main storyline that is different based on my choices and traits. So that's all of it. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I think I'm gonna leave Scarlet Hollow alone now. I really think I've drained everything I could out of this episode so far, so I'm gonna go back to eagerly awaiting for episode 5 and actually playing some other games for a change. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like. It would mean a lot to me, and I will see you super soon with something new. Bye for now. Wow, that's sure. Wow. Okay, good talk. I'm gonna go sleep now. That was romantic.